Ahoy and welcome back once again to I Like Watches Too. This is probably the most difficult video I'm ever going to have to, well, I don't have to produce it, I suppose. There's a lot happened in the last few days. And once again, I feel like sitting myself in front of the camera. I don't have a cup of tea, mind. I had one when I was indoors. But yeah, just thought I'd sit myself in front of the camera and have a little chat with you guys. So, Rolex. I woke up this morning, actually, to an email from Google warning me about my use of trademarks in my videos. This is a bit of a weird one, actually, because I had a chat with Google Ads. They got in touch with me and said, would you like to promote your channel with Google Ads? So it would promote my channel. My channel would appear higher up in search results and things like that. So I had a meeting with someone from, this isn't really why I'm making this video, but I'm talking about it now. So I had a meeting with someone from the Google Ads team, and they taught me how to set up ad campaigns, and we did a couple together, and we trialed it for a couple of days, and it led to absolutely nothing. So after 3 days, something like that, I just cancelled the promotion because it was costing me money and the analytics was showing no benefit whatsoever. So yeah, I haven't revisited that. Don't forget, Google Ads is different to YouTube promotions. So Google Ads is something separate away from YouTube. Anyway, I had an email from Google this morning saying basically they have removed one of my Google ad campaigns, and I'm getting a warning for misuse of trademark names in the Google ad campaign that they helped me set up. They helped me set it up. They basically told me how to set it up. They did everything with me, and it looks like I've breached some sort of rule. I mean, that is madness, isn't it? Anyway, I don't think there's any consequences at the moment. You always get a warning first, a shot across the bow, if you like, and then after that, you get in trouble. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can do because the campaign's ended, but I mean, like weeks later, they've obviously had another look at the campaigns that they helped me set up, and they've got a problem with me using trademarked terms, Rolex and Seiko, in the title of the ad campaign. Stupid, isn't it? But anyway, Rolex. I can see why channels talk about Rolex a lot, because there's a lot of drama that comes with Rolex. I mean, I'm still getting heat for the content that I've produced, and I stand by all the content that I've made, and I am not finished yet. If you're not familiar with the content that I've made, I borrowed a watch off a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine. He bought a GMT Master 2. Lent it to me for a week or two, and yeah, I've had some fun with it, and I've upset quite a lot of people. But I mean, the comments section of my videos has been fascinating. But one thing that Rolex fanboys have clung to is that I had to borrow the watch. You know, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Even if, I mean, I'm on a list for a Submariner. If they were to call me up and say, we've got one for you, I'd probably call my mate anyway and say, I haven't got the money, you know, do you want to go halves? Do you want to split it? Do you want to buy it instead of me? But I just thought 6 years ago, when I did have the savings, before I started this channel, I might add, this channel has broken me. But yeah, even if they called me now, I wouldn't be in a position to buy it at cost. But yeah, for some reason, the Rolex fanboys, you know, it's that little, well, you had to borrow one, and that's fine. You know, I've come to terms with that. I'm not in a position to just go out and buy Rolex watches. But I do have a mate who bought me one. I went round for dinner last night with my wife and my daughter. A birthday dinner, just have a sort of games night at their house, and they handed me a box, and he basically said, you've been slagging off my watch too much, have one of your own to slag off. I can't believe it. I literally cannot believe it. I mean, he's doing all right for himself. He's been very successful, and I'm so proud of him. I mean, we've known each other since college. We went to college together. We did our degrees together. But he has just aimed for the stars, and he's just been incredibly successful. And yeah, I mean, the guy's incredible. But yeah, I mean, I knew it was on the cards. He'd spoken to me about it, and I was trying to dissuade him. He'd spoken about it for my 50th birthday, and I've got a couple of years until then. So I thought I've got a little bit of time to, you know, just to sort of, I don't know, really just talk to him about it, dissuade him. I was trying to encourage him to buy different models so that I could borrow them and review them. Of course, I was desperate to get my hands on a Submariner. I've loved this Submariner for years and years. It's been, I've mentioned it so many times. It's been a grail watch of mine. And I've spoken to him about watches. He's become more and more interested. I'm all over the place, aren't I? But yeah, he's become more and more interested in watches as time has gone. Well, I talk about watches all the time. I mean, we meet up for a beer every other week on a Friday with my dad, and we just chat about watches a lot. And yeah, he's just gotten into watches more and more. He's got a Breitling. He plans to buy more Rolex watches. Yeah, so, I mean, he just sprung this on me last night. It's phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I liked his GMT Master 2. I like them. I love them, actually. I mean, I love Rolex watches. The brand, we spoke about it again last night because his wife was like, what are you talking about? Why is Gary slagging off Rolex? So I had to then sort of explain, sort of justify some of the content that I'd made, and it was squeaky bum time. It was... I wouldn't say awkward, because my friend is, you know, totally understanding about the content that I made. You know, he didn't have an issue with it whatsoever. But yeah, anyway, I still can't believe it. I still cannot believe it. So yeah, I mean, it's a 2004. It was sold on the 7th of April. The buyer just obviously passed it on straight away. Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of people do, isn't it? They get to the top of the wait list, and then they're not really interested in keeping the watches. They just want to make £1,000 or 1,500 quid, £2,000, whatever it is they make, and they pass them on. So it was all stickered. I mean, it was unworn, brand new. Of course, it's going to be appearing in some videos. The funny thing is, I've been trying to sell some watches to build up the funds to buy a Tudor, because after I saw that video on that Tudor and that misaligned loom dot at the 12 o'clock, I mean, I just thought, I've got to get me a Tudor in. And I thought to myself, the only way I'm going to get one in is to buy one, because you can't go to a seller and go, can I have a Tudor to smash on my channel, please? Not literally, but I mean, you know, lay into, give it a hard time. Because really, I'm going to be zooming into this thing. And by all accounts, Tudors suffer with the same sort of issues we see with Rolex. They're not made to the same sort of standards that we've come to expect due to all their marketing, you know, stuff. I mean, they've persuaded us, both Rolex and Tudor, that their watches are just immaculately made. But in the comments section to my videos, you will see those that have Rolex and Tudor watches are like, they ain't great, trust me. You zoom into a Rolex or a Tudor and you will be disappointed. And that is, of course, what happened to my friend's Rolex GMT Master 2. I'm almost too nervous to have a look at this on a macro lens. It's not going to ruin it for me. I got to say, though, I did make a video a little while ago talking about the downsides of owning luxury watches, because I bought a Grand Seiko. In fact, when I put my name down on the list for this, and I'm still down on the list for this, and I've said to him, if my name gets pulled out, you know, gets to the top of the wait list, he can take my place, because I don't need two of them. Obviously, that would be a bit too flash, wouldn't it? But yeah, when I put my name down on the list, I'm really waffling today. I went and bought a Grand Seiko from Blue Water in London, and yeah, I mean, I've suffered a bit with that watch because, well, for me, that was a lot of money, and it was a big investment, a terrible investment, obviously, in terms of, you know, it maintaining its value. But I love the watch. It's just owning it has become so sort of difficult because it gets scratched, it gets damaged. I've already had to send it off to Japan to get completely refinished. You know, I did some stupid stuff with it. I'm not going to go into that again, but yeah, you know, it's sort of ruined it for me to some degree, and so that was one of the reasons. I mean, the risks, of course, associated with wearing Rolexes out and about. Luckily, I don't live in a dangerous city, so I should be okay wearing this one. But yeah, I even made a video saying I would never ever buy another luxury watch. So the fact that this has been gifted to me actually makes ownership so much easier. I can never sell it. I can never sell this watch, so I don't have to be precious about it. I can enjoy it. I think we should start gifting each other luxury watches. You want a luxury watch? I want one. Let's buy one and then swap them, because then you can't ever consider selling it. So you haven't got the, you know, the value of it in the back of your mind. You don't worry too much about the condition. You're going to wear it more often. Yeah, I think the concerns that I had with buying luxury watches almost don't come into play for me with this one, because, well, I've got to keep it forever. I would never, but I could never sell it and just keep the money. That would be awful. It would just be a terribly rude thing to do. You know, you gifted something very special and then you go, oh, I'll enjoy it for a couple of years and sell it. That's not going to happen. This will be kept forever. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to be able to enjoy this watch as and when, not worry too much about the odd scratch, the odd ding. It's going to happen anyway, of course. Not worry too much about the resale value because, well, it didn't cost me anything. It was a gift. Don't get me wrong. I totally understand the very fortunate position I'm in, and yeah, you know, I've never been one of those reviewers that likes to sort of big up what I'm doing and show off and all that sort of stuff. This isn't really that. This is me just adding another chapter to the story of Rolex on my channels. It's been a roller coaster, isn't it? So it's going to continue. I mean, obviously, I'm going to produce videos on this. I think the first video I'm going to make actually is me verifying or certificating, authenticating is the word I'm looking for, this watch myself. I'm going to do a lot of research on what to look for to ensure it's genuine. I've got all the paperwork. I'm completely convinced it's genuine, but I'm going to do some research. I'm also going to go and visit a jeweler's, a Rolex AD, and have a chat with them and potentially take the watch down there and sort of talk to them about the process of getting this thing authenticated. And once I know 100% that this thing is genuine, and I don't doubt for 1 second it is, but once I know and I can prove that to you guys, I'm going to get the macro lens out and have a proper good look at this thing. My mate's thrilled. He's like, I don't ever have to lend you a Rolex ever again. You've got your own to slag off on your channel. You can leave me and my Rolex watch alone. Oh dear. Dear. What a legend. He is a legend. I love him. He's amazing. And yeah, I'm very lucky. Right, guys? I'm still thinking of getting a Tudor in mind at some point, but there's not as much rushes there because I can now focus on continuing my I don't know, I'm struggling to find the words now. I'm just gonna go and play my Rolex. It's so nice. The bezel action. Oh, are you ready? I have to say, in that comparison video I did, obviously I only focused on a few things, a few visual things. But when I first got that GMT Master 2 in and I made a video, I did talk about it. In your hands, they feel incredible. I mean, the crown action on this thing is unbelievable. I've actually played with a Submariner before, the bezel, in a jeweler's. It was awful. The bezel action was awful. I handed it back to the guy and was like, this bezel action's terrible. Are you sure that's right? But yeah, this is a whole different level. I mean, it's, yeah, probably one of the best, if not the best, bezel action. Oh, it's so nice. And the crown action as well. The clasp, everything. Oh, right. I'm going to leave you to it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. And, oh, you can tell it's sort of my birthday, can't you? New jumpers. I've got new socks and pants as well. Lucky me. I want a Rolex.